Hey Collective, it's Pearl Snap here. Welcome back to the channel. Make it snappy. There's so much going on right now out there that's sort of confusing and scary and so forth. And I'm still stalked and harassed. I got stalked at the grocery store yesterday by someone very surprising, very surprising. It's someone very menacing. And today I had a download about how this war we're in, we are in a war. It's very subtle. It's like a quiet war, but it's pitting you against your neighbors. It's like these people, these creepy, ethically challenged people, they're almost like partially, I don't know, I don't want to say anything too bad because I don't want to activate any Z people, you know, but they're all around. They sprinkled them into every neighborhood. They even sprinkled them into your family. So they're all around, and anything could activate them. And furthermore, they went on kind of like a fishing expedition to find all the people who have a higher frequency. They've been testing us and trying us and measuring our frequencies and trying to knock them down and stuff because, you know, it's almost like, in my last video I talked about the cycles in the matrix under the domes. And those things, I think that illusion is a sacred thing. It's like, it's like a theater where we come to ascend. And we play the game. We're in the passion play, right? To see, I just saw 222 and I said passion play. We're in the game to ascend, and if you can't play nice, you don't get to ascend. But what I got this download about how somebody like gamed the game. That's what's so weird about what's going on. I think that's why everything seems so weird. It's like this is supposed to be a place where you come to learn and grow, but somebody changed it into a place where that is impossible. And a place where even the good people who are operating out of good would be challenged, would be harmed. They're trying to do us in so they can keep control over the theater, okay? And they've kept this going way longer than it was supposed to have been going too. This is not supposed to happen, what's happening now. I don't think it was. And so there's a possibility that next week when they do those tests, there's a possibility that some of the oomph has been taken out of what these weird interloper principality people have done. There's a possibility that it's been lessened, but also there's certain areas that are still not okay. And I think I'm in one of those areas. I think I am. And I kind of like battening down my hatches, getting ready for anything here. Especially after being stalked by that surprising person at Albertsons. Albertsons Alamogordo needs a good clean out. I've been stalked and harassed there so many times. That's a, you know, dark side grocery store. There's only there's 4 grocery stores in my town. Only 4. Okay, one of them is totally from hell. I never ever go there. I found that out a long time ago. Then there's 2 Walmarts. There's a big Walmart and a smaller like neighborhood Walmart. And I've been stalked and harassed at all 4 grocery stores. So anyway, the only attitude to have is to just keep your head on straight and don't get too excited about anything. Don't react. Don't panic. Don't get too emotional, you know, because that's what they want. They want to lower your frequency. And so I think if they can pull off some kind of event where there's a whole bunch of scary stuff going on at the same time, or like maybe people freaking out or fighting in the streets or something, I'm noticing a big uptick in violence in my state all of a sudden. Big uptick. Shootings, there've been a couple of deaths in town here, and shootings and all over the state. It's creepy. So I'm just kind of trying to be calm. I'm gonna take my spiritual baths and all that. Go to bed in a timely manner. Eat healthy. I think that's really important to keep all those protocols in place of high vibrational living the best you can. So that's what I'm trying to do. Me and Shere Khan here, we just hanging out, man. Watching your videos sometimes and just trying to figure out how to survive this horrible mess. Okay, stay, okay. So, yeah, somebody gamed the game. But I have to also say that I think that we're getting really close to a big cleanup of some kind. It's gonna be a big surprise. Can't say too much, but I think there's a cleanup coming. Like, you know, like when you get the toilet plunger out, you know, like shit's about to go down, man. The big flush or something like that. Royal flush. So I grabbed a chunk of cards from my handmade cards. Let's just see what comes out here. We got fling. Oh, fling. Yeah, this is what I get. Monkeys flinging poo. There's a lot of flying monkeys in this town, and they flinging poo. They really are. Lost weight. Somebody's lost weight. Oh, that's me. I've lost a lot of weight. I've been working on it. And at a certain point, I was so scared and so gang stalked and harassed and panicked, and I couldn't sleep. And I got up over 200 pounds, and I'm only 5'4". So I'm back down to 170. I haven't been this weight for like probably 10 years. So ProSnaps is making an effort. Okay, next we have human trafficking. Uh-oh. Yeah, see, this is what's, it's about to go down. There's going to be a cleanup on this, okay? I guarantee you, I almost guarantee you there's going to be a cleanup of that. I feel it. It's coming. It's coming. Someone is clairaudient. I don't know about that. I'm not sure what kind of clairs I have still, but when I think about it, when I read about it, I think my clair is more clairsentient or claircognizant. It's like Mami Wata reader says, I be knowing. So it's when you just know things. And I just told you. We're going to get a cleanup of this trafficking stuff. Oh, good deed challenge. Okay. This is when you do a good deed and you don't tell anyone about it. So, what can you do? Collective, can you do a little good deed? It doesn't even have to be a big one. And don't tell anyone. Visualize, visualize. Visualization is good. Think about the way you want things to be, the way things are going to be when they're better. Keep your thinking, keep your vibration high and visualize that clean new world where we're all going to ascend and things are going to be so much better. So much better. Things are going to be so much better. because we're doing some repaving and resurfacing of the planet, of ourselves. We're grinding down all the grit off of ourselves and smoothing ourselves out and losing weight and visualizing a future in which we're healthier, we feel better. This is, this is what's going to happen to those traffickers. Brace yourself, because you're up for that. It's going to get tough time on these people. You are the acorn that contains the blueprint for a forest of oak. Somebody is from the oak tree lineage. I won't say who, but I think you can figure that out. Somebody's grandpa was a druid. Somebody's out in the cold. Those trafficking people, they're out in the cold. You're getting the maximum penalty. Shit's going down, you monkeys. Quit flinging that poo. Somebody's had their choices manipulated. Well, a lot of us high vibrational people did. Before we woke up, we had a lot of our choices manipulated. That's what I mean when I talk about somebody gamed the game, okay? We were supposed to have free will and free choice, but they made it so that every choice you had was already manipulated in the background. So even when you thought you were choosing something, freely, it wasn't. It was already tampered with. That's how the game got gamed, okay? Belief system. Yeah, they tampered with belief systems too. So, making you think that you could only make choices within certain belief systems. Now, I've been talking a lot about religion and coming at you from a Christian angle in recent videos, and I don't want people to think that I'm trying to pitch Christianity all the time, or I'm preaching at you or something. I come at it, chew on this, Twizzler. This is my Twizzler card. What does it say? Take time to twizzle if you need to. Well, chew on this. I come at that stuff not really as a member. Even though I was raised with it and in the church, I was raised Episcopalian, okay? And it's kind of like the way that you have to learn a discipline before you can break the rules. You know how they always say that about people like Pablo Picasso or any great jazz artists. They first learn traditional arts. Picasso, if you look at his very earliest work, he did all that classical painting and drawing and stuff that you can't even tell Picasso did it. It's so, within the lines. It's all very disciplined and all that. And then he broke out of that and he started breaking rules and became a cubist and all that crazy stuff. So in that same way, I consider myself to be about spirituality. Like, even though I studied the rules, if you will, or the parameters or the traditions of certain religions, namely Christianity and Buddhism, I don't slavishly adhere to every single thing, and I'm not really a member of any of their groups. I'm sort of Pentecostal, okay? I get my downloads. I get infilled with the Holy Spirit, and I get my personal contact with the Most High God. It's a personal thing for me. but I still like to go back to the scriptures and look at them. And I look at them with new eyes, okay? Especially now, I'm seeing seeing through to things I never thought of before. And just like we have the wheel that I talked about in Christianity, under the domes, and the game of reincarnating, the passion play over and over to learn your lessons and everything. There's something similar in Buddhism. It's called the Bhava Chakra. If you've ever seen those, it's almost like a chart or a diagram, but it looks like a wheel, and it has this big scary demon behind the wheel holding it up, like a wrathful deity is holding this, almost like a chart of all the different karmas you can have when you come back in after you reincarnate to learn the lessons you need to learn. Here's the Bhava Chakra with that horrible, creepy, wrathful deity with the crown of skulls, and then underneath there's this whole depiction of all the stuff that happens in the simulation under the domes, okay? Let me read to you what it says here about this. The Bhava Chakra is a symbolic representation of samsara, or cyclic existence. Okay? The matrix. It is found on the outside walls of Tibetan Buddhist temples and monasteries in the Indo-Tibetan region to help non-Buddhists understand Buddhist teachings. It is used in Indian Buddhism and Tibetan Buddhism. Yeah, it's kind of like those paintings they have on the outside of a Mexican grocery store where they have a painting of a piece of meat and a bottle of milk and stuff. This is for people who don't speak Buddhist. They can look at the pictures and figure it out. You know, if you don't be good, that vampire gonna get you. Okay. So the same themes run through all these religions, and I don't condemn religions. I think people are mad at religion, but we should don't throw out baby Jesus with the bathwater, if you will. You know, or don't kill the Buddha if you meet him, you know, in the road, as they say. Try to appreciate the best things. It's almost like going to a yard sale and digging through all the trash. You find that one thing that might be worth $1 million at some auction, you know. Hang on to those things. We should be mad at the institutions that got corrupted and the corrupt people inside the institutions, not at the dharmas and the religions themselves. And the dharmas are like the jewels of the religions, the highest teachings when you boil them down to their essences. Like the Golden Rule is a dharma. Okay, that's found in almost every religious tradition, is wanting to treat others the way you would want to be treated. I just saw 1717 when I said Golden Rule. What else do we have here? Who's sorry now? Who's sorry now? Who's sorry now? I think of Patsy Cline. But that song was about somebody who's about to get their karma that they earned. If you're having a hard time, you might be getting hit with some karma that you earned. Declutter. That's what I'm trying to do here, but in the process of decluttering, I cluttered things up even more. I hate that. I hate that. Well, what happened really was that I just, first I cleaned my house, because somebody said clean the house. I heard that message really loud and clear. So I did that. It took 2 days, and I did a deep cleaning. I did the floors again and everything. And that's a lot of work here because I have hard floors and every room has to be mopped. So it was a lot of work. But I did it. And then I got out one of my folding tables and I set it up. I moved this couch I'm sitting on over a few feet and enough to put up one of these 6-foot-long portable tables. And then I put boxes all over the table. That's how I cluttered it up more before I decluttered. But what I really did was I made a workstation because I didn't really have one. So I made a workstation so I can get really serious about decluttering, okay? So it's darkest before the dawn, and it's most cluttered before the dawn. Okay, we're dealing with spiritually inverted people, the soulless ones. Everything they do is upside down. We know that. These are the Satanists, okay? And these are the people that are sprinkled around among us. So what I get when I think about it is that, excuse me, spiritual burp, we're almost half and half on the numbers. And my hunch is we're a little more than half to the bad side. So there's going to be some cull. And don't forget that words are deeds. So if you're planning on doing some spell work over this full moon, which I'm sure a lot of the people around here are, because there's so many people who live where I live who do that stuff. Watch yourself, because I'm telling you, you keep flinging that poo, shit's about to go down, okay? Down. The elevator's going down. Shit's going down. Words are deeds, so watch what you say. Keep your language high frequency. And that's something that's a Buddhist teaching, okay? They talk about right living, and one of the things in right living is having right speech, which means not letting anything bad come out of your mouth towards other people, you know, not throwing those curses around. Words are deeds. Keep your language high frequency. Keep your thinking high frequency. Keep your eating high frequency. Maybe give up the meat for a few days here while we're going through this rough spot. That's what I'm doing, okay? I just had the most delicious meal too. I steamed some broccoli, and I had sauteed broccoli, spinach, and onion with some quinoa and some sweet potato. It was delicious. And it was really satisfying. I wanted something kind of rib sticking, and so I threw the sweet potato in there. Because I'd be hungry. I'm hungry, man. I'm on a diet, and I'm hungry. Losing weight is hard. Okay. Oh, look. 33, 33. Yeah, I keep seeing the word 33, or the number 33, and 34. And the other day when I went to Walmart, they changed everything around at my Walmart, the big one. They made this huge area for self-checkout. This giant area. By before, they had 2 self-checkout areas that were always clogged and lines always there. So they made it much more spacious, and really it's so much better. The few times I've been, it's so much better. And the first time that I went back and they had everything all set up, I ended up on the end where they still have 2 little end stations that aren't in the big bullpen area. And those 2 stations are number 33 and number 34. So all of a sudden I found myself going into the 33 and 34, and somebody in front of me went into 33 and I went to 34. 33, 33, this is, shit's going down, okay? All right, I think that's probably about enough of these. And that might even be enough of everything, I don't know. Should we pull a couple tarot cards? Let's pull some of these oracle cards. Excuse me. This is what I wanted to do. I forgot. I was going to give a little random out from the Art of War, because I've been bombarding everyone with the New Testament. So I know I'm irritating some people out there. I'm sorry. Let's do a random from the Art of War. Okay, switch reading glasses. Oh, I already marked, okay, I already marked something. Oh, this was, I opened to this the other day and I thought it was really worthwhile. So let's go over this. This was a random I opened to yesterday or the day before. If you are only able to ensure victory after engaging an opponent in armed conflict, that victory is a hard one. If you see the subtle and notice the hidden, breaking through before formation, that victory is an easy one. Okay, so basically that's just saying using force is a lot harder than using intuition and being able to anticipate things by using your emotional intelligence, using your intuition, using your high frequency attributes. You want to always try to come from there, like I was just talking about, right thinking, right speaking, right doing, not using force on people, not forcing people, not tinkering with people's free will, okay? Therefore, the victories of good warriors are not noted for cleverness or bravery. Okay, so you didn't have to trick anyone, and you didn't have to like go in and attack anyone. It takes some balls to do that, bravery. Therefore, their victories in battle are not flukes. There's no mistake about it. It's not a random accident or a lucky break. Their victories are not flukes because they position themselves where they will surely win, prevailing over those who have already lost. Before anyone's even thinking about fighting, you already figured out where to go, where to position yourself. Great wisdom is not obvious. Great merit is not advertised. Okay, so, right, you don't want to tell people what your plans are. When you see the subtle, it is easy to win. What has it to do with bravery or cleverness? When trouble is solved before it forms, who calls that clever? When there is victory without battle, who talks about bravery? It's almost like nothing happened. What? You know, if you're really a Wu Zen warrior, you can do that. You just look around and go, what? So it is that good warriors take their stand on ground where they cannot lose and do not overlook conditions that make an opponent prone to defeat. So you're always paying attention. Okay. This is what it means to be like meditating when you're awake. You're always awake. See, it's so easy to go to sleep for people who are not trained, who are low frequency. They go to sleep all the time, and then they get surprised when war breaks out and they have to go get their gun or some shit, and they probably going to get killed. Let me read that again. So it is that good warriors take their stand on ground where they cannot lose and do not overlook conditions that make an opponent prone to defeat. Therefore, a victorious army first wins and then seeks battle. A defeated army first battles and then seeks victory. Therefore, a victorious army first wins and then seeks battle. You don't go in there and go into a fight before you figured out the winning strategy already. You're 10 steps ahead of them. This is the difference between those with strategy and those without forethought. Who has forethought? People who are clairsentient, claircognizant, high vibrational people. gifted people. This is why the enemy keeps trying to stalk and harass, attack, flying monkey tactics, flinging poo. They're trying to lower your vibration because they know you're on the winning team. They're trying to shake your confidence. They might, this is why they engage in so much gaslighting, because they want you to question what's real. Watch it, especially with the gaslighting. That's one of their most potent weapons. Words or deeds. Those who use arms well cultivate the way and keep the rules. Those who use arms well, meaning properly, cultivate the way with a capital W and keep the rules. That's honorable fighting. They don't fight dirty. Thus, they can govern in such a way as to prevail over the corrupt. Because that's what the corrupt do. They fight dirty. They play dirty. But we've already learned to recognize all those tactics. That's why we're 10 steps ahead. Okay? So, using harmony to hunt down opposition, not attacking a blameless country, not taking captives or booty wherever the army goes, not raising the trees or polluting the wells, washing off and purifying the shrines of the towns and hills and the countrysides you pass through, not repeating the mistakes of a moribund nation. All this is called the way and its rules. See, that's what our enemies have been doing. They're just polluting and everything, and they tore down everything. They destroyed people's livelihoods, their businesses. They destroyed their health with an onslaught of bad medical procedures. This is what the enemy has been doing. They don't fight honorably and therefore are not fit to govern. Okay? When the army is strictly disciplined to the point where soldiers would die rather than disobey, rewards and punishments that are trustworthy and just are established. When the military leadership is such that it can achieve this, it can prevail over an opponent's corrupt civil government. Well, you have to have the loyalty of the people. They have to believe in what they're fighting for. Okay? What do you believe in, collective? I think that's enough. Now remember, this is one of my 3 books that I keep handy. My 3 pocket books that my favorite ones. This is one of them, The Art of War. The New Testament is another one. And the other one is the United States Constitution. I have a pocket copy of that. And I'm not embarrassed about it. Okay? So we may see some changes to that because it's been trampled on, and it might need some revisiting, repolishing. What was that card that came out? Repaving and resurfacing. We might be seeing a little bit of that happening to our Constitution. Let me put my cool shades back on. So, okay, so shit's about to go down. Don't be scared. Remain in high frequency. Okay, right living. Peace. Peace out.